men and women I was working with at the time. So I was just about having my bath and getting ready when I was told that I had a visitor. And I was expecting this lady because she was coming to pick up some money from me. So I asked the person who informed me to tell the lady to wait because I had to finish my bath and come. And then I was told that she didn't have any money on her to pay the taxi that she had brought. So I didn't know where she had come. But you see, in 1995, a drop-in at that time was only 1,000 cedis at that time.
That's like 10 pesos now.
Yeah. So I gave out 2,000 to be given to the driver. And then the person came back and he said the driver was asking for 4,000. So I said, why 4,000? You know, so let me go and reason up with the taxi driver. I went and he said, well, I've packed for about 5 to 10 minutes and that's why I want 4,000. And I thought 4,000 was way above what he was supposed to. So I said, okay, take 3,000, we'll add another 1,000 to the 2. And he said, no. Long and short was he refused and left the house, or the front of the house, and then went, and I thought that was the end of it. But an hour later, he comes back, this time parks his car about 500 meters away from the house, came in and collected some of our footprints in the house, and decided that he was going to kill everybody in the house. So I wanted to follow him up when he got out of the house, but this was somebody who had gone and come back an hour later. Now, I didn't know whether he was armed or stuff like that. So I decided that why don't I get my gun and follow him, so that if I go after him and he has any weapon, I'm also armed, because he had made his intentions clear to us. I followed him up into the street in front of my house and caught up with him about 500 meters away from the house. And an argument ensued between us, struggling to get a polythene bag that he had the sun in. Then all of a sudden, I decided to fire a warning shot because he was getting rowdy. And you know, I believed in this hype that when somebody's angry or there's a row and you fire a warning shot, it calms down things. So I just fired this warning shot, and that infuriated the guy the more, you know. And by this time, people had gathered there because of the gunshot, and we tried to reason up to go back to the house so that the guy could go and reverse the case. On the way back to the house, I was behind him. There were 2 people with me, one to his left and right, and as we were walking, we were still in a heated argument because I was angry at the time. He was talking, I was talking, my mind was not on the gun. Then all of a sudden he attacked. Something that I said must have, you know, upset him so much that he turned to attack me. In the course of reacting, you know, the gun, I had it on in my right hand, and my index finger was in the trigger hole. So the gun was an automatic pistol. So as I'd fired a warning shot about some 10 minutes earlier, there was another gun in the chamber. But because of the heated argument, my mind was not on the gun per se. We were exchanging words. So the gun in my hand hit the bridge of his nose, and the gun went off, and that's how he died.
Okay. Immediately what happened?
Well, I reported myself to the police, and I was taken into custody.
So that's how it happened. Okay, let's backtrack a little bit. What was the life, or what kind of life was G-Man leading at that time? Or what was the typical G-Man's lifestyle? Because I know you were in your prime and you're doing awesome, you know, musically and everything.
Yeah, basically I was a young man who had become very famous in my entertainment career. I used to call myself a total entertainer because I was doing basically everything, you know, singing, dancing, and I was just about, you know, doing a movie that I had written, and, you know, I was directing the movie. Basically, yeah, I was an entertainer in my prime at that time.
I mean, looking back, which of your tracks was your favorite? Well, that kept people on dancing floor.
Yeah. The song still keeps people on the dance floor as today, even as we're talking.
Which one?
Our Life in G Major. But don't ask me to sing because I'm
I'm not going to ask you to sing, but if you can give me a few lines of that, because I can't.
Well, that's a song that starts with a baby crying, and everybody knows that, with the melody. Da 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 da.
Okay.
Everybody knows that song.
You just sang it for me.
Well, I didn't sing it. I hum a melody for you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So, tell me about life in prison.
It was very difficult to start with. You know, life was very difficult because my life changed so drastically from that moment on. And, you know, being taken away from everything that means so much to you. You know, my family, my loved ones, everything. You know, so my life changed totally. It wasn't easy adjusting to life in prison because prison is not the best place for any man to be right now. And any police cells that I get to and I minister to them, at least 3, 4, 5 people give their lives to Christ because they know that I'm telling them the truth. Money and fame is not everything. You know, you can have money. I traveled around the world. I had bodyguards. I had women, you name it. But you see, the ultimate is that a day is coming where you have to give account of your life. Teddy, it's a privilege to have you in the studio.
So nice to be here.
Okay, so